The great silver boom. When's it going to happen? Of course, I don't know the answer to that, folks. We're going to dive into this. We're going to dive into so many different subjects today. Some people don't like 90% silver. Some people don't like 40% silver. Some people don't like 35% silver. I'm going to give you my best approach why we all should have a little bit in our stacks. Protect yourselves, folks. I'm going to explain all this. Also got a warning from one of you. What did this person find on whatnot? Was it real? Was it fake? What was my tips for this person? We're going to dive into it all, folks. Please give me the thumbs up. That really helps the channel grow. That lets YouTube know to send this video to more and more people. You want to help support the channel? The thumbs up really helps, folks. Thank you very much with that. Don't think about the Pinbacks giveaway. That's going to happen tomorrow, folks. We will be talking about that as well in the video. Let's just get into it. This silver boom. When is it going to happen? Everybody's waiting for silver to go crazy. Look, I'm going to be truthful with you. You don't want silver to go crazy. Not right now. Especially if you're still trying to stack. And there's always going to be someone out there that's just getting into the game. And one day silver will go boom. How close are we, folks? Comax don't have it. You know, if people follow Andy Sheckman, I watched him again last night. He had a live stream. But I didn't watch it during the live stream. I watched it after the live stream. I was too busy for it. Comax don't have it, folks. Governments don't care if the Comax have it. Why isn't our government agencies putting more heat on the Comax in our own country, folks? Especially if you live in the United States. Why isn't England, the UK, putting more pressure on the LBMA? You know, we don't know these answers. The price you see is just paper, folks. It's not physical. You're not going to be able to go online, go into your local coin shop and get silver at spot. That's probably not going to happen too often. Yeah, maybe an online bullion dealer will have a special on spot for a day or two. That's getting harder and harder to find, folks. Yes, I go on eBay. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Just keep stacking, folks. Keep stacking as you can. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Don't compare your stack with anybody else's stack. You know, some of us on YouTube, you guys know I show different sets. It's not easy to show all these different sets. You gotta set them up, you gotta take them down, gotta reset for the next video, right? It takes time for all this. You know, the ones that want to show a full stack, folks, that's good for eye candy. It really is. But it's the wrong way of going about it. It just gets people to say, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get there. Well, these people didn't get there overnight either, folks. I didn't get there overnight. It takes time. It takes, you know, yeah, I might be the oddball where I don't go all hog wild, all one big purchase. I'm cost averaging. That is what I'm doing. I'm cost averaging my stack. I don't buy from a lot from the coin shop that I work for, folks. I can find it cheaper. I'm patient. Do I buy stuff from the coin shop? Yes. Do I buy stuff from Pinbacks? Yes. Do I buy stuff from other online bullion dealers? Yes. Not going to sugarcoat it. Okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat what I've done. You know, sometimes it is the best price for everybody. Sometimes you got to take into consideration who's got the best customer service around. And to me, that's Pinbacks all the way through. Call Michael, call Brian. You guys have reached out to these boys, the owners of Pinbacks. You guys have been very happy with what they have to offer. Don't take my word for it. Go to pinbacks.com, folks. You gotta call them. Their number's right there, right on their website. Don't be afraid to call them up and talk to the owners of an online bowling dealer. They're gonna be there to help you out. Should be no fear in that at all. Calling the boys up. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Brian. The owners of Pinbacks for sponsoring this channel, Coin Shop Chris. Don't forget about the giveaway tomorrow, folks. You got a little time left. I'll post a link to the video in the comment section below. You must be subscribed. You must live in the United States. Final warning on this one too. I might give another final warning on this afternoon's video as well. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are entered. Make sure you follow the rules on the giveaway. It's all there in the giveaway video, folks. It's all there for you. It ain't going to cost you nothing for me to ship this to you at all. You're going to have a passcode. The winner will have a passcode. When the winner emails me, I'll give you a passcode. All you're going to have to do is put that passcode back in that giveaway video. Once I see it's confirmed it's you, I'll collect your address, pack everything up, ship it off to you. It's easy. Very easy. Why not sign up for the giveaway and get 5 troy ounces of the Frontier Mint Silver bars, folks? 5 ounces. Pinbacks has donated 5 ounces for this giveaway. I'm giving you a 1 ounce silver Eagle as well. 2012. Also, Franklin Mint Set. Franklin $half. This is probably going to be coming back if someone sent this in for grading, which I don't recommend. You're probably going to be looking at an MS62 plus, MS63 plus. Somewhere around that grade, folks. Over 6 ounces of free silver. Stick around too, folks, because there will be more giveaways on this channel. Can't guarantee you win. There will be more. You gotta stay subscribed though. Thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for this giveaway. Thank you to the viewer, because it's not possible without you. Next subject I want to talk about is, I see sometimes a lot in the comment sections. I'm only going to stack 999 silver, 1 ounce bars, silver Eagles, Canadian Royal Mint 10 ounce silver bars. I'm not going to do the junk silver. I'm not going to do the 40% silver. And I sure ain't going to do the 35% or nickels. That's fine. That's your choice. Okay? Take a $100 bill, folks. You don't see too many $100 bills on my channel, for one. I'm not rich. Okay? I grabbed one out of the bank for this episode. And I got to put it back in the bank because I got to keep my account and have a few $100 in it at all times. But I was able to manage to get $100 out without having to pay a penalty, without getting below the threshold. Take a $100 bill. Think about first thing in the morning. You walk into a convenience store. Maybe you go to Starbucks. Maybe you go to a fast food restaurant for breakfast. Whatever the case may be. Could be any time of day. You buy something for $5 or $6. You hand this to the cashier. Cashier says, I'm sorry, I don't have change for the $100 bill. Let's just say your total's $10. Let's just assume it's $10 even. Are you going to give up $90 and say, that's all right there, cashier. I'll give you a tip of $90. Heck no. I don't think anybody would do that. Think about it this way. Dollar collapses, folks. We're actually trading peer to peer in silver. Take a 1 ounce silver bar, folks. Right now, with about 32 bucks. Give or take a few cents here or there. Whatever the price is right now. 10 bucks, right? Let's say McDonald's is taking silver. For an example, times are bad, dollar's gone, people are taking silver. Why would you want to give up more? It's the same thing, folks. It's the same concept. Where 90% silver comes in, your 40% silver comes in, Your 35% war nickels may come into play. Why would you want to give up more? Well, maybe you like McDonald's or something like that, and you're okay with the balance on the gift card. I can see that happening too. They put the balance on the gift card. If you're a regular shop at a store, you might not give a rat's behind if you get a smaller gift card back. But keep in mind, that also requires power too. Maybe you don't want to give that store get a gift card back. Maybe you're working with someone privately. Why would you want to give up more? Maybe you're at a farmer's market. Let's say the farmer, sir, not every weekend, every other weekend, but you don't know quite the schedule. You're going to trust that farmer to be back next week or the week after? You give him $5 and you give him an ounce of silver and they keep a little bit of a log? And you got a credit with them? Really? Times are bad, folks. Farmer may not show up again. Not saying he or she would do that, but when it has, my suggestion, not financial advice, my overall suggestion for it is you better have some 90%, 40%, and 35% war nickels in your stack for smaller transactions. Just in case. You don't have to get a whole bunch. Maybe $10, $20 face in quarters. The same thing with the dimes. Maybe go a little bit heavier on the halves. Maybe have a couple rolls of war nickels in your stack. You want the change up front. If you were having a yard sale, you want change. When someone gives you a $20 bill, maybe a $100 bill, you're going to want some change to back you up. Because again, you might not be able to sell your product. Think about it that way too, folks. You may not be able to sell your product as well. So if you're a shop owner somewhere, maybe it's a makeup store. Maybe it's this type of store. Maybe it's a convenience store but you own. You don't have to change. Customers are going to go elsewhere, folks. It's the same concept. If that McDonald's didn't have to change that morning to break that $100 bill, you're going to walk out and go find something else. McDonald's lost a sale. It's the concept you want to keep in mind for the worst times possible. Think about it. Think about just having some change. It's like having $1 bills, folks. Use that concept. Smaller bills get you a lot further than a $100 bill would if you're doing a small transaction with it. Now, if you're spending $80, $90, yes, it's not going to be a problem. But trying to break 100 first thing in the morning with some of these stores, it's impossible. They don't have it in the drawers yet. That's happened to us at CVS. That's happened to me at Sears. People come in first thing in the morning and they make a purchase of $20. Well, our registers have a starting base of $100. I don't have the change for it, so that means I got to call a supervisor. Supervisor can take the $100 bill, go to the safe. It takes 10 minutes, folks, for the supervisor to come back with 20s, because he or she's going to punch in the code or do the combination lock. Maybe it's a double thing, depending on what Sears it was I was working in. And it takes them a while to come back with the change. Some of these stores have safes on timers, folks. They don't open right off the bat. They take 5 or 6 minutes to even open. Especially at CVS. When I worked at CVS, we had a couple of CVSs I worked at. They had timers on their thing. They wouldn't open right off the bat for safety reasons. So it takes time to get change. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Think about having some 90%, 40%, 35% war nickels in your stack. Again, you don't have to have a lot. You got to be prepared for everything. That's all I'm trying to get across to my viewers. I love the 90% silver. I stack a lot of 90% silver. I stack a lot of 40% silver. I try to stack a lot of 35% war nickels. I don't make a lot of big purchases. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you see some 10-ounce bars here. You see some 90% here. You see some 5-ounce rounds here. Yeah, I got a little bit of everything. Because when I do need to make a bigger purchase, everything hits the fan. And when the bigger purchase comes, I can use the 10-ounce bar. I don't have to give up my 90% silver for a bigger purchase. Think about how you shop now. I'll end it here. I had a viewer to reach out to me in an email. I'm not going to mention this person's name, of course, because it was a private email. So, this person did get back to me and say, please give this warning to your viewers. Person reached out to me. This person got some coins off of Whatnot. I don't deal with Whatnot. I want to make that personally clear with all my viewers. This person won 2 Mexican Libertads. This person got them home, put them on the scale. One weighed a little bit less than it should have. 30.85 grams. Should have weighed 31.1. This one weighed 30.85. This person did a ping test. The fake one did not recognize. So that's 2 failed tests, in my opinion. So this person reached out to me. And I advised them to either do an ice test, meaning put a cube of ice cube on it. If it rapidly melts, then it's probably okay. That's not all scientific proof, because it could be silver layering on top, folks. The ice would rapidly melt anyways. That's not a good, as a good test, but it's not an overall test you should be using. The scale test right there showed less. The ping test is not picking that coin up. The other one this person got came up real. Passed the ping test, passed the scale test. Told this person, if this person has a local coin shop in the area, go get it tested. Person took my advice. Went to the coin shop, put it in the segment, saw the picture myself, folks. It was fake. Now this person's got to jump through loopholes to get their money back. Just because you see it on Whatnot, folks, just because you see it on eBay, Etsy, any of these other online apps you want to use, yeah, this Whatnot seems to be a lot of live auctions. You know, I'm not saying they're all bad. I do believe Whatnot's a good company. Be careful, folks. Invest into a small pocket-sized scale. They're like $15 on Amazon, folks. Protect yourselves. You don't need a Sigma. Download the apps on your phone for the Coin Ping app. Android, Apple, they both have them, folks. It's free. That app don't charge you a dime. You don't need a Sigma. You really don't need a pocket pinger. If you're able to balance that coin on your finger, and gently tap it with another coin, of a rim of another coin, that app will pick that coin up. That will pick up the frequency on that coin and tell you if that coin's real or not recognized. That's the problem we are having, folks. You know, reason why I deal with eBay. Look, I've done over 1,100 transactions. Not all for myself. Some of them were for other people. You know, I make a little bit of a commission off when I help somebody out like that. Normally in my area that, you know, people say, can you help me find this? Help me find this. Okay. Let me know what the price is. I charge them, most of the time I charge them about a 10% commission base. It's my time, right? So if the coin is $55, I will make $5.50. Take my time. It could take me a couple days to find a specialized coin. I don't mind working and helping people out, but sometimes it takes time. Sometimes I can say, yeah, I can get one right now. It's this much. Okay, go ahead and get it. And it's a quick sale. I move on. Out of all my transactions, folks, on eBay, I've had 3 fake transactions. I've had probably 4 to 5 to 6 of stuff getting lost in the mail. Out of those other transactions, I probably had 3 to 6, maybe even pushing to 7 or 8. To be totally fair and honest with you, that the seller itself did not ship the item they claim it was lost. Sometimes you can go back to that same seller 2 or 3 days later and it's the same exact item. You just report them. They didn't like the ending auction, whatever it was. You gotta have kind of proof for that. That's kind of hard to prove at sometimes, folks. But I've done it. It just gives them a red flag on their account. Be careful. These cheap little scales can save the day, folks. Your ping test, free ping test on your apps, on your cell phones, can save the day. Most coin shops, pawn shops, who deal with silver, gold, platinum on a regular basis, have no problem testing your coin for absolutely free. Now, they're not going to, if you bring in a whole pile of coins, they're not going to sit there and do that. If you have one that you got questioned, maybe 2, maybe even 3 you got questioned on, I'm sure most coin shops are not going to sweat and say, okay, yes, we can do this. How we do it at the shop is we have extra sigmas. If someone brings us a lot of coins, we will take the time to show them how to use it. And they can sit there themselves, grab a soda, grab water, have a cup of coffee, and test it themselves. Not every coin shop's going to do that either, of course. You got to be vigilant out there, folks. If you don't want to mess with fake coins, stay away from eBay, stay away from Etsy, stay away from these whatnot places. And then you're not going to have any problem. Go to channel sponsor pinbacks.com. Go to your local coin shop. You're not going to have any problems, folks. Yeah, deals are out there. You got to be careful, though. Now, out of all the transactions, I don't give eBay a bad name. I'm not giving whatnot a bad name. You know, maybe some of these sellers don't really know what they have. You know, give the seller a benefit of the doubt. You know, when I bought my Franklin $half and I thought they were fake, folks, the seller had a good rating of 100% feedback. By the time I got the coins in, and the coins that I got in with those, they were fake. I saw 4 other negative feedbacks right in a row. Boom, boom, boom. 4 different customers. Fake coins, fake coins, fake coins. Did this person know? It's hard to prove. All right, it's hard to prove. But in my mind, that person knew what they were doing. That person knew. Other people who have 100% feedback, folks, keep this in mind. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Stuff gets slipped through sometimes. Even with the best of us, stuff gets slipped through. The coin that was fake, the Libertad, by a picture that I seen on the picture, I would thought it was real. That's how good this coin looked by on a picture. Now, pictures can be deceiving. Sometimes pictures are not 1,000 words. But I do believe most people who sell on eBay, whatnot, all these other online apps are good people. The ones that you want to really keep away from is the ones that are so under that value, and you gosh darn know those are fake. Those are the people that eBay should be taking down. Those are the people that Whatnot app should be no more. Not because of one bad feedback or one bad thing, because stuff does slip through, folks. Be vigilant out there. You got questions, email me. I try to get back with you very, very fast. If somehow I missed your email, send it to me again. Say second attempt. Wake up, Coin Shop Chris. Whatever you have to do to get my attention. You know, I'm human too. You know, I don't always catch every single email. Sometimes it goes, you know, I get a lot of junk emails and I just go to delete, delete, delete. And I try to look for keywords and try to see who's sending me the email. And if it looks like spam, I'm going to delete it. And if I by accident deleted one of your emails, I apologize. But I got to protect my computer as well. Second attempt gets my attention, folks. If it's your actual second attempt trying to reach me on a question. You know, another key phrase that gets my attention. Hello, Coin Shop Chris, in the subject. That gets my attention too, folks. Thank you for watching. Coin Shop Chris is out. If you hear the rain, I apologize. It is what it is. See you this afternoon, folks.